I'm Tom Barell, and welcome to The Journey Traveled, the story of how I got started in Jeet Kune Do. It started in 1973 when my dad took my brothers and I to a drive-in movie. That movie was Enter the Dragon, and its star was Bruce Lee. After the movie ended, I asked my father if I can train in the martial arts and be just like Bruce Lee. Of course, like all fathers, he said, sure you can. I then asked him if I can study with Bruce Lee, and he said, no, you can't. I asked him why, and he had told me that he had just died. Wow, what a shock that was. After that night, I decided that I was going to do some research. There had to be someone who can teach me, someone who actually studied with Bruce Lee. Well, I was fortunate, because I discovered that there was such a person, and his name was Dan Inosanto.
Hey! Hey!
The first international karate championships were held in 1964 in Long Beach, and I was a black belt under Ed Parker at the time, and I was sort of like his liaison man. And he says there's a Chinese man by the name of Bruce Lee. He's just a young boy, and he's going to be coming in, and I would like you to just sort of take care of him. Here's some money, make sure he eats properly. We became very close friends, and so he started to show me a little bit of his, I call it his system or his understanding of martial art. I told him I'd really love to study with you. She says, I'm going to be 3 weeks here in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be demonstrating at the Sing Lee Theater. How would you like to assist me in demonstrating at Sing Lee Theater for about a week and a half? He says, I will teach you the things that I like to do, or my method. And that's how our friendship started off. So I started studying with him all that time period from 1964. And then we just became very close friends. He was definitely my closest friend at that time period.
I was now positive that Dan Inosanto could teach me the skills I dreamed of learning since I was 9 years old. The only problem was that I was in New York and he was in California. How do I tell my father that I wanted to move to California and study Jeet Kune Do with Dan Inosanto? Well, my pop was pretty laid back, and he said that when you turn 18, you can do whatever you want, and I'll help you out as much as I can. So, when I turned 18, I packed my bags, I put gas in my car, and I headed west. My destination was the Filipino Kali Academy in Torrance, California. Wow, I couldn't believe I was here. I saw pictures of this school in Dan Inosanto's book, and now I was actually training here. In just a short time, I was even helping out the newer students. In 1984, the school tripled in size, and we relocated a short distance away. The new school was called the IMB Academy. And along with Dan Inosanto, the school was operated by another fellow Bruce Lee student, Richard Bastillo. I instantly took to Richard Bastillo's warm hospitality towards me. We befriended one another. was assisting him in his classes, as well as continuing to study with Inosanto and another young pro-teacher of JKD, Mr. Paul Vunak. In 1988, I was finally awarded my own teaching certification. Inosanto and Bastillo, unfortunately, had parted ways, having different aspirations, I suppose. The IMB Academy was left to Richard, and Dan was operating his own school in Marina del Rey, California. I returned to Long Island, New York in the mid-1990s, and I have been teaching Jeet Kune Do and the Filipino martial arts here ever since. I started to write about JKD and the Filipino martial arts, and over the course of time, I had written over a dozen articles. I have taught many different people, some of whom are now instructors of their own. I'm not sure how much longer I'll continue to teach, but for now I really enjoy it and I don't see myself stopping just yet. Well, I want to thank you for watching, and if you want to start your own journey into Jeet Kune Do, it couldn't be any easier.